You know those weekly calendars that for some odd reason start on a Sunday? Well, that's what this What I Eat in a Week is gonna look like. There's lots of super simple but delicious ideas to look at. Overall pretty healthy, I'd say. There's also quite a bit of weird, improvised, travel type food. And a little bit of vegan cafe and restaurant footage filmed in beautiful Lisbon, Portugal. So yeah, let's get into it. Oh, by the way, thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. It's early Sunday morning, which naturally calls for some tea and sushi, apparently. I decided to prep some sushi for a picnic later. I did not add salt to my water, which was fatal mistake number 1. For my sushi filling, I then pickled some carrot ribbons. I've been very much obsessed with making these. I was going for inside-out rolls here, and lots of tutorials tell you to make the sheets of nori a bit smaller. And so I cut off about 1/3 of each sheet, and that left me with almost square-shaped pieces. Those remaining slivers of nori, I added those to the carrot jar as well, giving the veggies a bit more of a fishy taste. As the rice was cooling down and the veggies were pickling in the fridge, I put together this yogurt muesli bowl consisting of a nectarine, some strawberries, some thick protein soy yogurt, hemp seeds, puffed quinoa, and white tahini. I've never been the biggest tahini fan. Like, I love to cook with it, but you'd normally never see me eating tahini straight from the jar. But this one's an exception. It still has a slight bitterness to it, but it's pretty mild still, and it's got this nice toasty flavor that reminds me of peanut butter a bit. Back to the sushi. This is clearly my first attempt at making inside-out rolls. I apologize to all sushi kings out there, but I'm gonna explain what I did anyway, or what I should have done, rather. So first things first, you would typically wrap the bamboo mat in cling foil, like before you do anything. This way the rice doesn't stick to the mat and gets into all the creases when rolling. Yeah, I did not think of that, and so here I am just covering my first nori piece in rice. Now, here's where I encountered my cling foil problem. I didn't even have cling foil to begin with, but aluminum. Flip the sheet now so the rice is facing downward. And on top of the other nori side, you add the filling sort of on the lower half. For me, that's some of the jarred carrots and some avocado. And then I try to use the mat plus my piece of aluminum to fold my roll, tightly pressing it together, but making sure I didn't accidentally roll the foil into the sushi. This is why it makes sense to have the mat wrapped in foil completely rather than just having a loose piece of foil sitting there. It still worked in the end, some way, somehow. Before setting my roll aside, I rolled it in this mixture of sesame seeds and salt. Yeah, actually these didn't turn out too bad. Well, these ones didn't make it into the beauty shot, but I still brought all of them anyways. Then I made my way to the picnic, where we had so much good food. Oh, and then we got some iced lattes and some vegan cake from this cafe called Jules. It's right inside the park that we were at. I did not film everything I was having here because, it was brunch. I wanted to relax and enjoy myself and not worry about capturing every single bite, but you get the idea. In the late afternoon, I had some more tea, did some video editing after all those mimosas. And then for an early dinner, I pan-grilled some veggies. We have a zucchini and yellow bell pepper here, and I gave these around 8 minutes over medium-high. And then I added some tofu slices here, bit more oil and some seasoning, and I let the tofu fry for 3 to 4 minutes on each side before plating up everything, the tofu and the veggies, together with some leftover couscous, fresh baby spinach, some more tahini, some sriracha, and randomly the leftovers of my homemade vegan cheese. Recipe for that will be linked down below. What I'm doing here is finally sitting down and doing some research for my trip. I snacked on some of this white chocolate that's based on coconut and almond butter. It has these almond chunks in it. It's so good. Plus there's some strawberries in the background. Oh, and later I also ate leftover sushi from the picnic. Okay, so this has been my favorite way lately of making iced lattes without espresso machine and without cold brewing. So I basically just make a regular cup of filtered coffee. And then I let that cool down a bit for about 10 minutes while I am doing other fun things, such as toasting up some rye bread and topping it with hummus, vegan pesto, and leftover grilled veggies, and a sprinkle of sesame seeds. But back to the coffee. So what I'm doing here is adding like maybe 4 ice cubes total, and then sealing the jar with a lid and shaking it up until it's cooled down to about room temperature. Yeah, this is so nice. It's just a bit more watery than a real iced latte. I had 2 of those. The veggie toasts weren't the most filling, and so here I had another breakfast. That would be soy yogurt, apple chunks, crunchy peanut butter, and chocolate granola. Since I would be leaving the following day, I was trying to use up what I could in my kitchen. I thought making this green smoothie would be a good idea. Turns out I was wrong, and so a cup of this smoothie was enough to give me a stomach ache for the next few hours. I guess the moral of the story is don't make green smoothies, or at least don't randomly mix them, or maybe just don't use fruit that's bad. How about that? Anyway, once my stomach was working again, I had this slice of rye bread topped with tahini and vegan Nutella. This next meal is probably my favorite homemade recipe from this entire week. It's so simple. It's pesto ramen. So I cooked up some ramen noodles according to instructions. Be careful not to overboil them. Like as soon as they're done, drain them and then give them a rinse with cold water. I cut up a red bell pepper here and some firm tofu. And then I sauteed both in some olive oil for about 6 to 8 minutes, adding some hemp seeds along the way, plus some fry seasoning. Then I mixed in all my leftover baby spinach, letting that wilt down for about 2 to 3 minutes before adding the cooked noodles, a couple tablespoons of store-bought vegan pesto, and a bit of soy sauce. This was so delicious, basic but good. I finished my day off with some lentil chips. I had 2 slices of this dense but delicious spelt bread with vegan Nutella and some banana slices. This reminds me of, 2014 Tumblr era food. I went on a little walk around Temple Fafed with Nina and Atomis, and Atat brought this chocolate chip brioche sort of thing that she made. I will link a similar recipe of hers down below. I came back home, made some green tea, and then I quickly reheated my pesto leftovers. Waiting at my airport gate, I had the first of many snacks that I took with me on this trip. This was a pistachio and lime bar. Interesting flavor combination, but I really liked it. My plain food consisted of an orange bell pepper, 2 savory carrot muffins. Those are filled with tofu, olives, and spring onion. Thought it'd be a good idea to bring some lentil chips and to add those lentil chips directly inside my lunchbox. Getting to my Airbnb was a journey. Some way, somehow, I managed to find the little cabin I was going to be staying at. Arriving there, I had this vegan, healthy-ish cookie. Yeah, but then I called it a night food-wise. Good morning. I got a full 3.5 hours of sleep last night. Part of the reason that I couldn't sleep was today is a really big day where we're sending off something that I've been working on for the past year. I'm gonna go over some more stuff today. And then a couple hours ago, maybe 5 or 6 in the morning, I was like, you know what? Let me just get up and go outside and watch the Portuguese sunrise. And then I opened my door, and I think like 20 meters in front of me was this giant cat. I don't know exactly what it was. It was definitely not a dog. And it wasn't a bear either. Just a huge fluffy cat that looked kind of scary as well. And so I'm definitely going to be Googling what sort of wild animals Portugal has. Next up, I had this far too expensive salad bowl that I got from the airport. Tasted alright. It was a bunch of raw veggies, bulgur, this little salad dressing, and sweet potato. This guy calmed my nerves so much, I was a mess emotionally. He belongs to the restaurant that was right next to the cabin. This was Beyond Meat, I believe, and it was just a very nice surprise that they even had a vegan option at this place. The fries were more like little soft potato strips, but I was starving, and so I ate all this happily. I then had to rush to a small town close by to run some errands, such as getting a new charger for my camera because I'd forgotten to pack that one. There, I thought I'd hit up one of the cute local coffee shops. I rarely ever go to Starbucks, but I knew they'd have vegan milks, and so that's how they got me. I had this acai berry drink there with coconut milk, which was so nice. Here's some more stuff I purchased. I got some roasted bell peppers, some bread buns, vegan meatballs. A son had cherry tomatoes, a cucumber, beans, and hazelnut milk. I improvised the dressing using what I could find in this kitchen. Some balsamic vinegar, soy sauce, dried herbs, olive oil. It was really nice. I paired this with lots of fluffy rye bread. I had another rye bun toasted in the pan together with this acai juice that I got from the airport. Now you might be asking yourself, did she actually travel with stalks of rhubarb in her suitcase? The answer is, how could I not? I'd actually never cooked with rhubarb before and I didn't want to throw it away, so came with me to Portugal. I think it's just impressive how sour rhubarb is on its own, and so you gotta make sure that you add quite a bit of sugar to it to balance that out. Also, you can never go wrong with adding a pinch of salt. I brought the heat to medium and let the fruit, water, and sugar cook for about 10 minutes until soft. Meanwhile, I cooked up my last remaining German snack. This is a powdery smoothie bowl / berry porridge. I topped my bowl off with some of the rhubarb mixture. Yeah, crunch was definitely missing here, but the taste was really nice. I had this together with a hazelnut cold brew. Then I had some more toasted bread plus rhubarb puree. Tastes so much better than it looks. I found some rice in the cupboard. As the rice was cooking, I pan-fried the frozen vegan meatballs in some olive oil. Once those were done, I removed them from my pan and then added some chopped cherry tomatoes and roasted peppers. I let these two cook down for about 10 minutes over medium, seasoning everything with some dried herbs and salt. I love the plant-based meatball thingies. Whatever was left over, I had that as a little late night snack. Friday was moving day. Breakfast was really just a means to get rid of all of the random leftovers. And then I headed to Lisbon, where I had access to cute vegan places again. Lisbon has a bunch of those. This one, for example, is called Milky's. It was pretty close to the hostel that I was staying in. I had a really filling, super delicious acai bowl there. The acai could have been a bit more thick in consistency, but the flavor was so nice, honestly nicer than any acai bowl you can get in Berlin. It came with this super crunchy vegan granola, berries, and coconut. A friend of a friend who recently moved to Lisbon gave me this little tour of the city. We went to this place called Vegan Nata. Somebody on Instagram recommended me this place for dinner, Damas. It's this really fun restaurant, bar, event space. The people who work there seemed intimidatingly cool, honestly. Anyway, they have tons of vegan options. They mostly do tapas style food, and I just asked them to recommend me some random dishes, and this is what I got. This roasted cabbage with a roasted bell pepper sauce and breadcrumbs. It was so nice. And then I also got this green risotto made with so much cilantro. It's not my favorite herb. Like, I'm cool with it. It was definitely interesting having so much of it in one dish. But after a few bites, I honestly really liked it. But the cabbage was my personal highlight. I really loved the hostel that I was staying in. The lady who owns it is so sweet. It was super clean, and you could make your own breakfast there and just use what you could find in the kitchen. I made myself this bowl of muesli consisting of oats, cornflakes, banana, and hazelnut milk. Then I did a little bit of catching up with work. I also got a basic bread bun to go. They didn't have any other vegan things for me, sadly. It was amazing bread though. A lot of you said I should check out this place called AO26 Vegan Project. Similar to Damas, they do a lot of traditional Portuguese dishes and make them plant-based. Once again, I had no idea of the foods, and so I just asked the guy working there what I should order. Bread was definitely the theme that day. First off, we have a vegan bafana, which is made with seitan and has this mustard sauce on it. I then also got these rye toasts with sauteed veggies and fried pieces of tofu wrapped in nori. In order to get some sort of vitamin into my body, I also ordered this salad here. It came with these zucchini rolls filled with cashew cream cheese, which gave me very much OG veganism vibes. It was delicious. For dinner, I wasn't really craving much food. I later on just took with me a little muesli that I ate in a random park. It was with banana, oats, candied almonds, and a bit of hazelnut milk. Plus, I snacked on some more of those almonds before going to bed. And that concludes this random week. I then went to Peniche for a day, super far out in the west. And then from there, I went to Porto, which is a city I completely fell in love with, mostly just because of all the lovely humans that I met there. And that was my little Portugal adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this and perhaps got some inspiration for what to make next or where to travel next. And now, a word from our sponsor. Creating a new website can seem overwhelming at first. Starting anything new in general comes with a bit of resistance, I feel like. That familiar, icky feeling. You know it? Why not allow Squarespace to help you get your project off the ground? You can start by choosing one of the many beautiful professionally designed templates they've got to offer. Those are even divided into different categories, such as podcasts, e-commerce, nonprofit, making it really easy for you to find the perfect design really fast. Squarespace now even has a video editing app, helping you create sleek-looking video content for all sorts of social media platforms. And if you need any extra advice, their 24/7 customer service is always there for you. Go to squarespace.com/MinaRome and get 10% off your first purchase for a new domain or a new website. Alright, that's it from me. Talk to you guys soon. Bye! I'll follow
you into the park, through the jungle, through the dark.